Hello, my name is Alejandra Vega and I work as a musicologist. I've been studying Andean folk music for several years. I live in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and that is the place where I was born. I received formal music education as a flutist, and I was a classical flutist for many years. I was mainly interested in contemporary music. My dad was born in northwestern Argentina in a province called Tucumán, and we spent our summer holidays there. And there I had the opportunity to listen to Andean folk music, and I was very fond of it. I am very fond of it. And when I was 5 years old or so, maybe 4, I don't remember, I was given an ethnic flute that is called pincuyo or pinculio. So I started playing Andean melodies, simple melodies with this instrument. I loved the quality of the sound of these instruments. But when I went to school, my music teacher replaced my old pincuyo by a recorder. So I started playing other styles, mainly Renaissance and medieval melodies, which I loved. But I never forgot my love for popular music. So when I was a teenager and started studying flute, I wanted to play jazz and bossa nova. I had training as an improviser flutist too, and in fact I was a bossa nova flutist for many years. But one day, when I was in my 30s, I came across a group of people who played a kind of panpipe that I had seen and listened to when I was a child, and they played some melodies that remind me the one that I listened to when I was a child. So I approached them and asked them where to learn to play this instrument, and they allowed me to join the band. They were very generous because I didn't know how to play the instrument. This band was formed mainly by migrants from Bolivia. Some people came from Peru. There were some children of Bolivian migrants too, and some Argentines. The first thing that I remember that they told me is that if I wanted to play the sikus, first I had to learn how to listen to the other. That was very different because as a flutist I played and rehearsed alone. I didn't need other people to play melodies, But let me show you what a sikus is. It's a kind of panpipe with 2 rows of canes. These 2 halves are called ira, the ones who guide, and arca, the one who follows. And let me show you the notes of the scale of G major. This is a B, a C, a D, an E, an F sharp, a G, and so on. The notes of the scale are divided between 2 rows and between 2 players. So you need 2 players to make one single melody. This is what the sikuris, or the players of sikus, call tocar contestado. And tocar contestado in English can be translated as playing by answering, because playing sikus is a sort of dialogue between 2 people. You should be very well coordinated with your pair to sound well. Tocar contestado is what musicologists call complementary performing, and there is evidence that this kind of performing is pre-Hispanic. So many indigenous people find in this kind of playing a metaphor for the ayni, or the reciprocity. Yes. And they say that reciprocity was one of the main laws in pre-Hispanic Andean communities. This ayni was the rule that relate one people to each other, one people with their environment, and so on. Everything is divided in two. This kind of thinking is called dualism. And that was so interesting to me that I decided to be a researcher. So I started my training at the National University of Arts at the folklore department. And well, I started publishing in 2011. Yes, 2011 I published my first article about the sikus here in Buenos Aires. If you think that this kind of performing is a metaphor of your native ancient community here in South America, it's not surprising that many indigenous groups adopted this kind of performing and this kind of instrument to play. So indigenous people find in these kinds of band a form of expression and a form of supporting their alternative way of living. As the instrument was forbidden for women and girls, I got interested in women and girls playing sikus in urban areas and in rural areas as well. So today I am the director of a feminist studies project called Community Music and Counter-Hegemonic Feminisms, Women and Dissident Security Movements in Argentina and Latin America. Well, but going back to the sikus, I want you to listen sikus band. This is a band in which I played sikus, quenas, and rondadoras, and I also played flute here. This band is called Causai. Causai means to live, yes, and they were members of a family from Bolivia that were living here in Buenos Aires, and some other Bolivian musicians that wanted to support folk music of Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador.
Para todo el Perú. Esto,
and I will show you other pan pipe called rondador. This is a rondador. Can you see how thin are these canes? There is only one row and the canes are very thin, and look at this. You can play two melodies with this one. The canes of the rondador are arranged so that you can play two canes with one blow. Rondadores have been used by the Otavalo people in Ecuador, but they were popularized among the rest of the Ecuadorians. They are employed in San Juanitos, which is a traditional genre of Ecuador. And well, now we are going to listen the same group, Causai, playing a traditional San Juanito. And you will listen to many other instruments. Among them, you will listen to the quenas, perhaps the most well-known instruments, ethnic instruments of the Andean region. These quenas are tuned in G. This is the usual tune of the quenas. They can be made of cane. They can be made of wood. This one has a bone mouthpiece, and this one is a lower register quena, and this is called the quenacho. The quenachos are usually in D. So let's listen to. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you had fun and you learned something new about these musics, these beautiful musics that are not frequently broadcasted or recorded. Bye bye. Have a nice day.